Good morning, everybody. This is Dean with the Two Party Podcast. I just want to give a quick update, some show updates. I just wanted to give go over some news. I like to do some news updates here and there. We've had some 9/11 just passed. Today we got 9/12, which I think to some is kind of the most important day where our nation actually came together to really work together, unity, patriotism. I mean, we saw a lot of changes after 9/11. It changed our world forever. So I'm going to get into a little bit of that. First, I want to give a couple show updates. Again, I've said this on a little promo I did a little while back, a little discussion. We want to thank you guys for sharing and liking and following. We're starting to get the base built up pretty good. We would love to just keep growing. So if you guys could continue to like, share, follow, you can go on Patreon and you can make donations to the show. If that's something you want to do, it always does help us get the media and get the things we need to get the show done and produced in a better quality for you. And then also on Anchor, just so you know, every time you watch with Anchor and basically most of the podcasts, anytime you watch or listen to an episode, you'll sometimes run into that ad. And so what it is that's some of our sponsors. That's sponsor spots and times that I record, and then we just kind of give a little plug. They get their time. We get a kickback of some money for that sponsorship time on our show. So bear with us when you run into these ads. You're like, sometimes people hear these ads and immediately just turn away. I'm one of those people. I kind of do that on Facebook. When I see an ad, I just kind of scroll through. So it's just understand when you're hearing these ads come up, they're no more than 30 seconds or less, and it's a way for us to monetize and help our show. So I appreciate you sticking it out and kind of dealing with it as we iron out the details and kind of get things how we want our show to run. I know there's a million different podcasts out there that offer content and stuff you can listen to and watch, and I just really appreciate that you guys are listening to us. And that being said, a couple other show updates. So we're continuing to work in the studio. I'm continuing to work on the sound. That's going to be an ongoing thing, just to get the quality I want. I'm a little picky on it, and I critique all these. I throw these up pretty quick. I record these pretty quick. I edit them. I try to get them up quick. And because the show is unfiltered and pretty raw, I don't cut a lot. I don't usually cut anything out of a live interview with a guest. Most of it, whatever we say, it goes up. And on that note, though, I'm my worst own critic, and so I really am working on the studio, trying to get. You can hear some of the echo still, and I've got some more acoustic panels to put up, and a few other things I'm going to be putting up to help with the sound. Kind of working on some of the furniture here in the studio. So bear with us as we get that going. So that's another little update I wanted to talk about. And then we've got a few guests coming soon. We're hoping to get recorded and up live soon. One of the ones I'm excited about is hopefully next weekend is Brendan, and I'm going to try to say this properly. Brendan Kumarasamy. Now this guy runs Master Talk YouTube channel. If you've ever heard of it, or if you want to go check it out, go to YouTube, look up Master Talk with Brendan Kumarasamy. I'll work on that. Now what he does, it's professional communications and presentation. Now this guy's amazing. He's worked with some of your biggest corporations to help some of their staff and some of their leaders to get better communication skills. And this guy works for, this isn't just for a huge corporation and board meetings. This guy works for the little guy too. I mean, he helps people in even the construction business, kind of help their guys to get better customer relations. When you can communicate better, you can communicate to a person, communicate your point well. Sometimes that's what seals the deal, gets the sale. So this guy's got all kinds of just amazing knowledge on communication, presentation, how to present yourself, how to present your company, your brand. He's going to have some amazing logic and talk for us. So hopefully, if everything works out, we kind of missed our deadline today. We kind of had a mix up on times. He's on Eastern, I'm on Central. So we're going to go ahead and shoot him in. Hopefully next weekend. I think he's pushing for around 12:30, and hopefully I'll have that up next Saturday. give me an hour or so to edit it, and hopefully we'll be able to get that up. So I'm looking forward to that. Again, Brendan with Master Talk on YouTube channel. Now, another one where I'm looking forward to is Coach Cam, and a lot of people, that's what he goes by. His name, he goes by Coach Cam. So this guy's launching an e-course. It's called Win the First Quarter of Your Day Playbook for Wealth, Health, and Success. So he's going to be doing kind of a podcast himself. He came across our podcast, but he'll be doing a lot of online, basically be an online presence. But what I want to break down for you is where this guy, this guy does, he's going to be talking to us about self-improvement, some of his background and his story. He's going to talk about faith, stoicism, self-talk, his abyss, his rebounds, stories of the broke philanthropist. He's just got a lot of really cool stuff he's going to touch on with us. So 12 months. He's currently on pace right now to read 52 books a year. Now, this is what a friend of mine, Dion, very proud of him. We grew up together and stuff. That's what he does. He does that book challenge, that read. And I can admit, I love reading. I don't have the time I wish I did to do it. But if you're a person that has the time or loves reading, man, grab you some success books, grab you some self-help books, grab your Bible, just grab some things to read throughout the year. 52 books a year is a good target, and it really nurtures your brain, really helps you out. So Coach Cam is going to hit us with some of that knowledge. He's going to hit us with mastering fear, which is something we got a nation full of fear going on right now. He's going to talk to us about business, entrepreneurship, startups. He's just got so much. He's going to talk to us about Black culture. Now that's something. He's a Black gentleman, wonderful guy. He's going to discuss some of the things we've got in front of us. He's going to talk about how he started his first hustle at 9 years old. He's going to talk about challenges of being authentically Black in the business world. He's going to talk about why I became a social entrepreneur. W1Q is a hack to fast track us into success. I have an amazing musical palette. He's going to talk about some Black culture, and I love that. I love every bit of that. He's committed to improving the condition of our condition, time for honest conversations. I love it. Right now we're in the heat of the Black Lives Matter, people wanting to be heard, justice reform. We see all kinds of crazy stuff in the world. This guy is going to hit us with the real. He's going to hit us with some good stuff. So just a little background on Coach Cam. He is from the sports world, for all you sports fanatics out there. Former college football player, former head coach and athletic director, USA football master trainer. He was with Houston Texans as a play safe coach. He's an authentic. He owns an athletic construction company, which I think is really cool. So I'm really looking forward to speaking with him and getting that interview down. I've got another guy who's, I guess you could say, kind of gone viral. People know him as the green shirt guy. You can look him up, Alex Cack. I'm trying to coordinate with him. We've kind of been going back and forth, trying to get him scheduled. So me and him are just going to discuss, what we love to discuss here, which is basically your history, social media, music, pop culture, sci-fi. We're just going to have a good conversation, and politics as well. I'm hoping to get him on maybe this week. I'm looking forward to it. So I'm trying to get these three booked right now, to give you a heads up on who's coming. I'm really working on that. Coach Cam, I'm super excited to try to get this guy on. He's got this thing he's building up and trying to get out there. And I want to help him. Like I said, this show is about promotion. I want to promote my guests. I want to help you reach your successful level you need to. And if that means us getting you on the show, we don't charge for that. A lot of people are confused. And then a lot of people are like, well, what's it really going to do on a podcast? We're heard around the world. So we're heard. The last analytics and insights I was looking at, we're Australia, Ireland, UK, England. We're picking up a lot, and we're actually getting a lot more interviews from the UK that I'm starting to do, getting some guests coming in, musicians and stuff. So I'm looking forward to those too. So just a little update. That's where we're at as a podcast. That's thanks to you guys helping us grow. That's the word getting out. That's me. Oh Lord, that's me just diligently trying to get running the treadmill, man, chasing that carrot. I'm really, really trying to get this thing just to be streamlined and be able to bring you good guest content and entertainment. And so we're doing it. I've reached out to several others, and I'm kind of keeping those in my pocket right now because some of these people I'm dealing with their managers. A lot of these people that, it's a promotional thing. You know how it is. You deal with managers, maybe you don't, but when you deal with managers in the entertainment world, or you deal with people that become celebrity, and the celebrity term gets to their head, you're going to deal with their managers. Some managers are good, some managers are bad. Some celebrities are good and bad on the backside. So, what you see on the media and in Hollywood and TMZ and all that, it's not always what it's cracked up to be, because I'm reaching out to some big names and big people, and what we're finding is, they're wanting me to pay for a spot, and I get it. They're celebrities, but I'm trying to help them, not just promote. It's not just helping me promote my show to get some big names on, but we're just looking for people, grassroots, organic. Just come on the show, man. Let's have a talk. Let's meet you as a person for our audience, and that's what I'm trying to talk to some of these managers. So we're negotiating back and forth with some people, trying to get them a spot on the show, 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there. We don't even care. So that, just so you know, there's that going on in the background. There's so much that entailed. I started this as a hobby, but so much goes into this that I never even imagined I'd be sitting here doing. Let alone going back and forth with celebrity managers and stuff. So it's fun. It's frustrating, but it's what I want to do to try to bring you guys the content. It's what I want to do. It's just something I enjoy doing, and I really hope that I can get this built up to the level I want it and vision it. I have a dream for this. As a hobby, I had a dream for this, just getting the sound and being able to air this stuff and talk to people around the world. But as a whole, I'd love to see this thing become the vision I have, which is basically a really good content show that brings good information, but at the end of the day, stays personal, stays unfiltered. I'd love to be able to just talk one-on-one with people, real. I don't run. If you notice, I don't run a script. I'm not sitting here reading line for line. I come off the top of my head, and that's how I want it to be with our guests. So sometimes you're probably like, this guy's all over the place. What's wrong with him? But anyhow, so that being said, I think I've wasted enough time on that. For lack of a better term, man, we've got some great stuff coming up. So I'm going to real quick do a news update. I haven't done one. Feel bad, but I don't, because, it's the news. We all know it's just not really always good. So here we go. We're just going to do a quick Google News breakdown. So we got CNN and MSNBC ignoring Trump's major Israel-Iran peace deal during prime time. So yeah, it's an election year, and I think I've said it before. Don't watch your media. Don't listen to your media. Do your research. Dig deep. The media is crap. So you're not going to get CNN. You're not going to get MSNBC. None of these people are going to report anything positive on a president they're against, and they're definitely not going to do it in an election year. So we got an election barely around the corner here. These people ain't giving no slack. So you're not going to hear good news. So the good story in all of it, of what I just read, is the president was nominated, and apparently has maybe had a second nomination for the Nobel Peace Prize. It's amazing. This president's worked hard. He deserves it. I really don't care what anyone has to say about this president. I do care what they have to say, but if you're just here to bash, or your opinion of this president is just your opinion, call me later. I really want to hear from, if you got an opinion about the president negative, I want to know your personal experience. I want to know how this president and this administration has affected you and your family directly. I want proof. I don't want word of mouth. I want to know where Donald Trump has hand in hand. You've met him personally, and he's a bigot, a racist, a jerk, whatever you want to call him. That's what I want. So if you can't, then please reserve your comments. This isn't a pro-Trump show. This is a pro-America show, pro-freedom, and that's what I will always be. When Trump's long gone, if he makes it another 4 years, or he doesn't, when he's long gone, the next president will be here, and I'll be talking. and we'll be discussing the next administration and president, and we will be pro-America and pro-freedom then. So I'm not just the big Trump train kind of guy. I look at facts. I look at congressional record. I look at the White House presidential actions. I look at public record. I've never met Donald Trump. I don't know him as a person behind closed doors. And I don't think half of or 3/4 of America has. And so I feel a lot of our opinions we see and a lot of this media crap is just what it is, crap, because a lot of these people don't know this guy. They don't know him behind closed doors. They know him for what the persona he has to put on in the media due to being defensive all the time. So that being said, let's move on, man. We got Michael Gove says bill will protect integrity of UK. I'm looking at world news, so I mean it's going to throw us all kinds of weird stuff. The Greek police fire tear gas as refugees demand to leave Lesbos. So Greeks in turmoil right now, or Greece is in Lesbos. They've had these migrant camps getting attacked. They've had protests in them. They've had fires going crazy. The world's a crazy place right now. 50 killed in a collapsed gold mine in East Congo. Man, I didn't hear about this. So, okay, I'm going to click it, guys. I'm going to click it. Click it or ticket, right? At least 50 killed in a gold mine. I didn't hear about this. Looking on Reuters right now. 50 people thought to have died in an artisanal gold mine collapse near Kamituga in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo. The cave-in occurred in Detroit mine site at 3 p.m. following heavy rains. So that explains why it happened. So there you go. There's something different. I'm kind of sick of the same old news. I don't know if you are, but here's my updates. I'm going to give them to you how I see them, how I read them. In Tuscany, Renaissance era wine windows are made for special social distancing. That's beautiful. The social distancing thing, I have nothing for. The Atlantic says Nobel Peace Prize should be ended after Trump was twice nominated. So we just spoke on that. I want to touch on this Atlantic for a second. If you take a second to even Google that article, just Google Atlantic says to end Nobel Peace Prize or anything that has to do with the Atlantic. Just Google Atlantic and look up. Just scroll, okay? Just scroll down every headline. Just read every headline from the Atlantic. We just had the Atlantic story where they're pressing the issue of they have these anonymous sources. Donald Trump freaking hates our military. Blah blah blah. I've said it before, I'll say it again. If it's an anonymous source, throw it in the garbage. Ignore it. Just erase it from your mind. If somebody ain't got the balls to step up and tell their side of the story or what their allegation is in front of the whole world, but yet they want the whole world to believe them, trash it. Just trash it. Okay. So again, look up Atlantic and then just scroll the headlines, okay? And that's all you have to do. And if you're an open-minded person, I mean, seriously, if you're an open-minded person, you're not just sitting on one side of the aisle for politics. Look at the headlines of the articles. And by the time you reach the bottom of the page or even go 3 or 4 more pages into Google, you'll find out real quick the bias of Atlantic. So if you're a person that reads the Atlantic or you are an avid all of your news and information comes from the Atlantic, I highly recommend and suggest and plead with you to find a better source, okay? Absolute bias. This is an anti-Trump presidential. They hate our president. They hate Trump, period. That's all the Atlantic is. There's not one headline as you scroll down, not one, that gives any kind of credit in any way, shape, or form. Every single one is a defamatory statement against Trump. So that being said, Atlantic, I'm not going to give them much more press. I mean, they suck. They're garbage. India says no change on ground yet after agreeing with China to end border fight. So China and India has been going at it for a while over some property, as it always is. And apparently they made an agreement. They came to an agreement. Things were supposed to change. They bought out some kind of a peace agreement for each other. Things haven't changed. China's still doing China as usual. India's just kind of being what it is. India's a very good global conglomerate as far as export, import. They have amazing medicine over there and doctors. If you're not familiar, India is really kind of a neat country. I'd love to go visit it. they've got a lot of cool stuff over there. And unfortunately, their neighbors suck. And sometimes if you've ever had a bad neighbor, you know how it is. So I think at the end of the day, India's a good place. They got a lot of innovation, a lot of top, real smart people over there doing some cool innovations with medicine and technology. And unfortunately, they just can't catch a break with a good neighbor all these years. So then I'm going to move on to. I don't really see anything jumping out at me that you guys couldn't pick up and read yourself on here. So I'm not going to do much more breakdown on the world. So I'm going to go into, I haven't done local in a while, and I don't typically do this, but this will give you a little touchdown on our cities and in the area I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So Tulsa police, child killed, man arrested after wreck on MLK Boulevard, Anthony, Washington. Coweta woman said she lost thousands on Cash App. Listen, folks, I get these emails all the time. I see these things on Facebook, these live Facebook Cash App things, like we're going to send you money, just click on here. Dude, if you got a Cash App account and that's what you use to kind of barter with your friends or whatever you're doing with that Cash App or PayPal or any of these accounts, those accounts are just as good as credit cards, and you're affected. Your name's on it. You're on the hook. So you're going to give strangers and people your accounts and access to depositing funds or pulling funds. You don't know what's going on the backside if you don't know that person. I know a couple people that literally just PayPal directly. They fell for some of these scams. My mom's fallen for a couple of those, Nigerian scams where the Nigerian prince is giving you $1 million. But you can give your PayPal to someone, and let's say that person on the backside, you don't know, they're in some really dirty stuff, guns, drugs, whatever it may be, and now they're laundering money or they're stealing money from somebody's credit card or something. So guess what? This person starts sending you money to clean out somebody's account. Guess who's part of that fraud scheme? Bingo, you are. So you can protect yourself through PayPal. You can prove you did nothing wrong but accept money. But man, that's hard to prove in a court of law with no evidence. That's hard to prove in the court of law that you're just accepting the cash. You're taking the payment end of things, but really had nothing to do with it. And even if you're just innocent and said, well, the person said they would just donate some money to me. You don't know where money's coming from. Don't accept it. Okay. Everyone wants to get rich by doing little work, quick money. Don't accept money unless there's a reason you're getting the money. Okay. If you didn't work for it or you didn't earn it or you're not selling something, don't take money. Don't hand out your Cash App. Don't hand out your PayPal. Now it's very easy for people just to tamper with that stuff by using emails, but just don't do it, man. If you're not owed money, don't give your stuff out. It's just like having a credit card and handing it off to the bad guy. So that being said, that poor lady lost thousands. Jinx returns in person. Jinx is an area over here, little city over here. Jinx returns to in-person learning after starting virtual. I just saw Adam Carolla make an announcement about keeping LA. He's happy that LA has been shut down, their schools through after the election. It's just convenient that after the election is when everything's supposed to open, isn't it? And yet nobody, you got all these people out here that are going crazy on this media propaganda that they just believe everything the media is pumping them. And here it's an election year, and here you've got all this stuff pro and anti-Trump, and we can't open schools, businesses, churches. Nothing can open until after the November 3rd. So this virus knows November 3rd as the date it's allowed to go away. Political weaponized virus. Okay, that's what we're going to term that. So in Jinx, they're going back to in-person. Now, Oklahoma hasn't been that bad, but they still have had issues with the concerns with the kids, and I agree with it. You got to be concerned about the kids. But at the end of the day, this virus has been a joke. And when I say joke, I'm not taking away from the fact that the people that have died or been compromised and died from COVID or caught it while being in the hospital for other things. But and I feel for the families, and I pray for the families and the victims. But at the end of the day, you can't make everyone in the world stop what they're doing because 200,000 people out of 7 billion people in the world have died just in our nation and a few around the world. So it's time to let it go. It's time to focus on our immune systems and our health. Now, if you're out there doing drugs and being stupid and your immune system sucks, you're probably more susceptible to die than I am. So that being said, let's be real about it. So Tulsa health officials say they created a new high-risk zone map based on local data. The leader of our health department here in Tulsa, just a little breakdown. The guy's, not accredited doctor. He's kind of a douchebag. as far as I'm concerned, every opinion he's had. When Trump came, he showed his anti-Trump side. I mean, you name it. This guy is just everybody in the, you can have both sides of it, but this guy's decision making, half of it's not based on science. It's literally based on what the mayor tells him to do. He's kind of a joke. So that's my opinion on him. Sorry about your luck. Bixby businesses adapting amid pandemic, wrapping up massive 35,000 custom mask order. So I'm not familiar with any of that, and unfortunately that's my town. So don't know too much about it. I support local business. Don't know anything about this, but cool. Okay, local business succeeding. I like to hear that news in the middle of all this chaos. Video released from shooting that led to misdemeanor charge for Tulsa police officer. Coweta wins. I don't keep up with the local school sports around here, folks. Sorry. Metro. Okay, so the one thing I did want to note on, the one thing I noticed since I moved here to Tulsa, and maybe it's in Oklahoma, or maybe I'm just seeing it on the news more because it's being presented more on the news that I'm watching, is there's a lot of kids being kidnapped. There's a lot of kids being arrested. There's a lot of sexual predators here in Oklahoma and Tulsa. You can almost on a daily basis, there'll be a post somewhere. Lori Fulbright, one of the great reporters locally, you can go to her webpage or her Facebook. Man, it's amazing. She spotlights some of the criminals and some of the arrests and stuff that go on and convictions in the area. You just scroll down her page on Facebook, Lori Fulbright. You're going to see some of the craziest. The stories never end. It's almost daily, one or two or three or more arrests by an adult molesting a child or something, sexual perverts. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. So we know we're in a world where we're looking at, sex trafficking and these child trafficking and all this crazy stuff going on. We're hoping to see an end to, or we're hoping to see it locked down and cracked down on. And man, in Oklahoma, it's scary. It is scary there's some serious pervs going on around here. And maybe I just never noticed it everywhere else I live, but this state for sure, since I've moved here, I've noticed it's got a serious peak, a serious high number of arrests for these pervs. So here we are. We're back in the U.S. So now I'm going out of local to U.S. Better weather aids battle against deadly western wildfires. So I'm hoping, and I don't know about you guys, I've been keeping up a little bit because I have family out there in Oregon with these wildfires and friends out in California. Dude, they're raging still as we speak. As we're sitting in the comfort of our own homes, these people are worried about losing their home, or they've already evacuated and lost their home. Pray for them, think about them, send them good vibes, energy, whatever's your thing. But they need it. And then when this is all over, these people get these fires out, they're going to need support. They're going to need help, man. It's time to step up. These people need it. So that being said, new voters in battleground North Carolina provide a critical test for Trump. A huge risk. Trump allies can't sway him on mail-in voting. So, this is back to the absentee mail-in balloting stuff. And now that headline's kind of a little crappy, and it is from CNN. So take it for what it's worth. Again, the media, garbage, whatever. Read into it, find out the real details, what's going on in North Carolina before you just jump to the CNN. China starts testing nasal spray coronavirus vaccine. I don't know. You guys keep that to yourself. Anything coming from China, keep to yourself. Okay? Don't want it. Vaccine I don't want, but I definitely don't want it if it's coming from China's nose sprays. College students admitted to police. They had COVID. They threw a house party anyway. Hey man, if you knew you have COVID, you test positive and you're a freaking jerk and you run out there and throw a party or whatever you're going to do in your community to risk or destroy lives, you should be charged for that. There should be a penalty and accountability. I'm all about this COVID thing going away, and I think it's stupid, but I'm not going to risk the lives of other people because of how I feel. I'm not going to risk the lives of an elderly person dying because I want to throw a house party and I know I'm sick and I can handle it. So that being said, that's dumb. I hope those people are held accountable. So I'm going to wrap up. I'm right at my time. I like to be shooting these updates around 29 minutes, 30 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. You guys have a great day. Dean, Two Party Podcast. Check it out.